What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get in this video, guys, I want to highlight something that Netmarble posted up quite a few days ago, up on the 8th of this month, which is this right here. So this is actually pretty cool what they've done in here. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I'm really hoping that they do these things in the future. So for all the UE characters that we have in the game, well, at least Ash Crimson, Amaki, and Kusanagi, and Psyche, we can actually exchange extra memories for prime memories or prime memory shards, which I think is fantastic because whenever before when we using EX characters, we can never do these kinds of things. We can never level them up even faster if we already had them to A5. So this is actually really, really good. But knowing that extra memories won't be a waste like what it was with EX memories, where if you had an EX character up to A5 and then you got extra EX memories because you were trying to get more dupes for another character, now with the new UE system, or at least with this particular system, you can actually use the extra memories to actually get you shards to level up the character even further. And I think that's pretty damn fantastic. And I'm really, really happy to see that. That's actually really, really awesome. And if you go into the exchange shop, you can actually take a look here. And we have 10 days remaining of this. In this shop right here, you can actually use, like if you get 2 extra memories, you can get a prime memory shard, which is the equivalent of 1,000 prime memory shards, right? Or you can actually just exchange 1 memory for 500 shards. You guys can see that I've actually already done this because you can do this 4 times. So I thought this was really, really cool that they did this, and I hope that they do this in the future because it doesn't hurt anyone whatsoever. It actually helps players that might have got, really unlucky. Say they were able to A5 Ash, but then they got extra memories of Ash because they were trying to still level up Maki. So now they can actually use those extra memories to get more shards. So I just wanted to highlight this and bring it up because I really am glad that Netmarble does this, and I hope they do it in the future. Now, let's talk about the plugin plant a little bit and what you guys need to be doing in the plugin plant. So the plugin plant is where we're going to be farming for our plugins, and these are things that actually give us more CP, more attack, more defenses, and what so have you, right? They just really make our characters a whole lot stronger. Now, this here says 1,800 and more. Well, recently tier 4 was unlocked, and I can tell you guys that tier 4 is an absolute nightmare. My Ash is actually level 80 now, level 80. And the higher awakened level that these characters are, the more overall points or OP that they're going to have. And to add more OP points, what you actually want to do is you want to give them higher powered plugins. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. So you can guys see right here that I have an epic plugin, right? I got this from actually tier 4, and I wanted to show you the difference here whenever you put this on and whenever you, use a different plugin. So currently right now, my Ash is sitting at 2895 overall points, 2895. And remember, the more of this you have, the more damage you're actually going to do in this plugin plant. This is where it's at in the plugin plant. This is exactly where you're trying to level up to get more overall points so you can do more damage. The higher awakening level you are, the more overall points you're going to get. But aside from that, also the more power on these plugins, no matter what rarity they are, you're still going to get more points. So let me show you what I'm talking about so you guys can see that this is power 67, right? And this is power 44, and we have 2895. So if I take this off and I equip this one here, boom, we lost a little CP and we lost a little bit of our overall points. So we actually are going to do worse in this game mode because we're actually going to have less points. 2870 versus having, let me see if I can find that thing really quick. So 2870 versus 2895. And the reason you guys are seeing more CP is because this here just has a lot of phantom attack on it, whereas this one here, it increases your active skill 2 damage. This does not bump up your CP. However, HP, attack, defenses does bump up your CP. These do not. They bump up your damage, but they don't really bump up your CP. And this is a godly difficult thing to have. So when you're trying to push plugins, when you're trying to push the plugin plan, you're trying to do better in it, having more power on these plugins is really going to help you do well in this. And you want to make sure that all your characters have enough power plug-in to be able to go into this, guys. You need over 2,400 points, overall points, 2,400 each here, in order to do well in this game mode. Because if you don't have 2,400 overall points on each of these characters, then you're going to get a penalty and you're going to start doing a lot less damage. This is really insane how much damage you're actually going to lose whenever you're in this game mode. So you want to make sure that you have enough overall points in order to do this. Now, this is stage 3, but I'm going to show you guys a stage 2 clear, right? So I'll bring it for you right now, guys, and you can check this out. Okay, now something that I noticed in here, what you just saw, I had Athena as a striker, but I actually had to use Maki to get that extra attack that she has from a striker bonus in order to do enough damage, right? I've already taken quite a bit of damage here already from the stage 1 clear, but I wanted to show you guys the stage 2 clear on tier 4 and how hard this is, even with a level 80 character, even having enough overall points throughout all of my fighters. I mean, you need 2,400, and I had 2,660 on Orochi, I had 2,680 on Rugal, and I had 2,895 overall points on those characters. So you would think this would be a breeze, but oh no, it is not a breeze, my friends, not at all. I actually needed that Maki because whenever I used Athena, yes, I would have a heal and my survivability would be a whole lot better. Having Maki and getting that 25% extra attack really makes a difference, not to mention that she adds a nice little attack bonus whenever you're using her, right? As far as, using her for a striker for Ashe, right? She really makes a big difference as far as adding damage for Ashe. I said the wrong word there. For Ashe, as a striker, right? I mean, she adds that 7% attack to twist teammates. So Ashe is actually getting, 32% or more, depending on her core, from her striker bonus, man. It really makes a big difference as far as how much damage she's actually giving good old Ashe, right? I mean, that's a lot. So that was really important for me to have her as a striker, so that way I could do a lot more damage. And I tried a lot of different methods in here. I tried using like a support, like say Lung, and using her, but my Lung's only at level 50. I think if I had her at A7 it'd be a lot better, but then you have to wait for your tagging cooldowns whenever you tag out a character, right? So you lose damage, either one way or another, whether you're tagging out a character or whether you're just not doing enough damage. And I'm trying to build up those 3 bars of the Phantom State so that way we can do the most damage whenever we hit our Phantom UE skill and try to plow it on. But man, you guys can see that this is not an easy clear. Honestly, I'll probably just be farming on tier 3 because you have to manually play this in order to get it done. And my Ashe, even at level 70 at tier 3, could actually auto farm this whenever I used 98 Athena as a striker for him to keep him alive. It really made all the difference in the world using her. But whenever I'm doing this, whenever I'm doing tier 4, having that striker like Maki was just way better for my damage instead of using Athena, because Athena just offers the heal. Maki offers, an extra 32% attack to Ashe. Really made a big difference. And then using your default and using your 3PGs as often as you can also makes a big difference, because you're going to be stalling the timer. You'll do more damage over time. So these fights take a good amount of time in order to get done, right? So I didn't do my 3 bars because, well, it isn't ready, right? And there it disappeared. So we're not going to use the Phantom UE skill yet, because we need to use our UE skill first, our Awaken skill first, before we can do that. So we're just going to do our 3PG right now. And then after the 3PG, we're going to hit our Awaken skill, and we're going to change the UE skill to a Phantom UE skill, right? So we're going to do it right after this default. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit our Awaken skill. Then we're going to hit our Phantom UE skill, and now we can just do tons and tons of damage. And if you do that while the buffs from Maki as a striker are applied, you can really balance a lot of extra damage. Really makes the difference in the world, guys. Like when I didn't use Maki, I had a hell of a time trying to get this clear. I had a hell of a time trying to get it, guys. It was so hard without her. Her striker bonus just made all the difference in the world. And then obviously in the plug-in plant, you want to avoid anytime you see any circles on the ground, anytime you see like a red ray on the bottom of the screen right in front of you, you want to make sure that you get behind the opponent. Stay away from all those circles on the ground. Always dodge and get behind them and just keep plowing on the attacks and use your defaults to try to interrupt the opponents so that way they don't do any attacks to you and do a bunch of damage to you, because even your Phantom UE characters can take a lot of damage in this game mode, especially if you're trying to push it and you're trying to get better plugins. And in tier 4, this is the first place and the only place that I was able to get a epic plugin. Now the epic plugins, I'll probably talk about those in another video, because I only have one. But you know, the whole thing with those things is just you're going to get one extra stat, right? So they're just going to be a more powerful plugin to have. However, like I said earlier, the more overall points, it doesn't matter the rarity, the more overall points you have on those plugins, the better you're going to do in this game mode on all 3 of the characters that you're using in your particular runs in this game mode. You want to have as much overall points as possible so you can really get it done and plow on some serious damage. So you guys can see that we got about 1:20 left against the main boss. And boy, and it's fitting that her name is Darkness, but this is rough, right? So we're doing our 3PG so that way we can get the buffs for the first and second skill for Ashe. So hopefully we can do a bunch of damage, and we still have Maki to use as a striker. So we run through our skills, we use Maki as a striker, right? We're going to do our default, right? Interrupt them. And then we're going to hit our awaken skill, and we're going to try to build up. Well, I build up my Phantom UE a little bit, but we went ahead and used it a little early because I'm trying to plow on a bunch of damage. And right there, guys, those tornadoes, those things can catch you and actually cause you to go stagnant. I was actually hitting my directional button. I was trying to dodge, but I couldn't get out of it. So that was pretty rough. You can see that red outline around the screen where I'm about ready to die. We don't have a lot of HP left at all. Only 64,000, which isn't very much in this game mode. You can die pretty easy. So I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get hit, trying to keep them locked up in the air, which is something that's really nice about Ashe. As long as you're doing your attacks while they're in midair, he'll keep them in the air for a good amount of time. Now, I'm just trying to keep my distance, and this is another thing about Ashe that's really awesome, is that he has a lot of range on his attacks. You can really get away from the opponent and still do a bunch of damage, man. It's why his Phantom UE skill is so good, but even just his first and second skill, because they have just so much range. They really get across the screen. And here we go, guys. We're just going to try to plow it on as much as we can. We got the buffs from Maki all the while we're doing our Phantom UE skill. And you can see the damage, right? It's pretty nuts, but it's not as nuts as you would think considering how strong this character really is. I mean, the plug-in plant, we're going to find out real quick, guys, that this is definitely going to be an extremely hard game mode. And I think even at level 90, it's going to be a very tough game mode because, I mean, like I said, Ashe is at level 80 and I had to manually play this. There is no way on auto he would get the clear, man. He would just die. He wouldn't be prioritizing his skills. He wouldn't be prioritizing, building up his Phantom state so that way when you have 3 bars, you could use the Phantom UE skill and get the most damage out of them. The AI just wouldn't prioritize those things, so you wouldn't do as much damage. So I mean, we got 15 seconds left. We're down to almost the second bar. I mean, this is really pushing. I did the default to interrupt old girl, and then we just start plowing it on, guys. Start plowing it on. And I mean, we are really coming down to the wire, which is why I'm showing you guys this run. You can see that we had about a quarter of a bar left over. We have 3 seconds to left over, and time does stop whenever you do your 3 PGs and your defaults. And then boom, 2 seconds left to spare, and we were able to get it done. 2 seconds left, and this is where I got the epic plug in. So I just wanted to show you guys that run, man. It is no joke in this game mode. I do believe that a lot of players are probably just going to farm on tier 3 at the highest instead of tier 4, unless maybe their character is awakened level 90, because once they get to awaken level 90, they are going to have more overall points. But it really does look like the objective for all of us is to have 3 UE characters that all can reach level 90 on each of these colors. 3 green UE characters, 3 purple UE characters, 3 blue, 3 red, 3 yellow, right? We're going to need 3 of each. So you're going to end up needing 15 A5 UE characters in order to farm this thing efficiently, because remember, the more overall points you have on your team, the better that you're actually going to do. So having 3 UE characters for each color is just going to be a massive, massive benefit. So it looks like we got a lot of farming to do when it comes to the characters that we're going to be getting in the feature, and we should all keep this in mind, especially if you plan on farming for plugins. So guys, let me know what you think about the plugin plans and how far you are and how well you're doing, and also let me know what you guys think about what they've done in the exchange shop for all these wonderful characters: Maki, Ash, Kusanagi, and Psyche. So guys, let me know how you're all doing in the game, and I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. Link is in the description below, and I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.